You walk into a clothing store and see a t-shirt for €5. It looks completely normal. Soft fabric, clean stitching, a printed label, and dozens of colors and sizes. €5 may barely cover a cup of coffee. Yet this shirt had to be grown or manufactured, spun, dyed, cut, sewn, packed, shipped across the world, displayed in a store, and sold at a profit. So how can a t-shirt possibly cost only €5? Who gets paid? And what costs are missing from the price tag? Let's follow the money and discover the real cost of a €5 t-shirt. The journey often begins in a cotton field. Cotton fibers are harvested, cleaned, separated from their seeds, compressed into bales and transported to a spinning mill. Machines straighten the fibers and twist them into yarn. The yarn is then knitted into fabric. Before the shirt even exists, its material has already passed through farms, factories, warehouses, and transport companies. Cotton is not the only option. Some inexpensive t-shirts use polyester, recycled polyester, viscose, or blends of several fibers. Polyester can be cheap, durable, and easy to produce at enormous scale. Cotton feels natural, but growing it requires land, water, fertilizer, labor, and protection from pests. Estimates often suggest that producing the cotton for one t-shirt can require around 2,700 liters of water. The real amount varies greatly depending on rainfall, location, farming methods, and the type of cotton. But even a cheap shirt begins with real land, water, energy, and labor. After the fabric is knitted, it must usually be bleached, dyed, washed, and treated. These processes require water, heat, dyes, salts, and other chemicals. The color must remain consistent across thousands of shirts. The fabric may also be treated to feel softer, resist shrinking, or maintain its shape. These processes create wastewater that must be properly treated. When environmental controls are weak, some of the cost can be transferred from the company to the communities surrounding the factory. The fabric is then transported to a garment factory. Cutting machines stack many layers of material and cut dozens of shirt panels at once. Workers sew together the front, back, sleeves, collar, and labels. The shirt is then inspected, folded, and packed. The direct sewing time for a basic t-shirt can be surprisingly short. Factories use standardized designs, specialized production lines, and enormous orders to reduce the cost of each item. Many inexpensive garments are produced in countries where wages and operating expenses are lower than in Western Europe. Major clothing-producing countries include Bangladesh, China, Vietnam, India, Cambodia, Pakistan, and Turkey. The factory does not receive the €5 shown on the price tag. It receives an agreed manufacturing price from a brand, supplier, or buying agent. That payment must cover materials, workers, electricity, machinery, management, rejected products, and the factory's own margin. The worker's direct sewing labor may represent only a small number of cents in the final retail price. This does not mean the labor has no value. It means the global system has been designed to produce huge quantities while keeping the cost of each individual shirt extremely low. After production, the shirt begins another journey. It is packed with hundreds or thousands of other garments, moved by a truck to a port, loaded into a container, and shipped to Europe. Container shipping can be inexpensive per shirt because one ship carries an enormous number of products. The cost of the journey is divided between thousands of lightweight garments. The shirt may then pass through customs, warehouses, and distribution centers before reaching a store. Transport, packaging, duties, and warehousing all add cost, but scale keeps the cost per item low. Now imagine dividing the €5 selling price. The fabric and other materials might account for roughly €1 to €1.50. Cutting, sewing, factory expenses, and the supplier's margin might add around 50 cents to €1. Packaging, shipping, duties, and distribution add more. These figures are only illustrative estimates. The real breakdown depends on the fabric, country, order size, tax rate, retailer, and sales channel. The €5 price also includes value-added tax. The retailer must pay store rent, employees, electricity, payment fees, warehousing, advertising, administration, returns, theft, and the cost of products that never sell. €5 does not become €5 of profit. Low-cost fashion depends on selling enormous quantities, using simple designs, negotiating low supplier prices, and moving inventory quickly. Some very cheap products may generate little profit. Their purpose may be to attract customers who also purchase more expensive items. There is another reason clothing can be sold so cheaply. Not every cost appears on the price tag. Water pollution is not always paid for by the customer. Carbon emissions may not be fully priced. Low wages, unsafe conditions, textile waste, and poor durability can create costs for workers, communities, governments, and the environment. The United Nations Environment Program estimates that the textile industry produces between 2 and 8% of global greenhouse gas emissions. The industry also uses large amounts of water and creates waste and chemical pollution throughout its supply chain. A €5 shirt can therefore be financially cheap while creating costs somewhere else. But expensive clothing is not automatically ethical or sustainable. A higher price may reflect better materials, stronger construction, higher wages, environmental controls, smaller production volumes, expensive advertising, or simply a larger brand margin. You cannot discover the full story from the price tag alone. A €5 shirt can also provide real value to someone with a limited budget. The problem begins when extremely low prices make clothing feel disposable. If a €5 shirt is worn only twice, it costs €2.50 for every use. A €30 shirt worn 100 times costs only 30 cents per use. This does not mean expensive clothing always lasts longer. But durability and the number of times an item is worn can matter more than its original price. Washing clothes carefully, repairing them, buying used clothing, reselling unwanted items, and recycling textiles can extend their useful life. So how can a t-shirt sell for €5? Inexpensive materials, highly efficient factories, low labor costs, massive production orders, container shipping, simple designs, small margins, and a global system in which some costs never reach the customer. The shirt itself may be cheap, but the land, water, energy, labor, transport, pollution, and waste behind it are real. The true price of clothing is not only what you pay at the checkout, it is also how the garment was made, how many times it is used, and what happens after you stop wearing it. That is the real cost of a €5 t-shirt. This is the real cost. Subscribe to discover what the world's most familiar products really cost.